Episode 80. So Danny asks Bill what's the reason for the visit, and Bill tells her no one knows him the way she does. He needs someone who understands after going through his stroke ordeal. And he tells her she held his hand and wheeled him back, and he can't shake that from his memory. And he says that he wronged her and that's why he's there. And see, this is the issue with Bill. He keeps doing it. He keeps on throwing out niceties, and then when he wheels Danny in, then he goes and tells her, oh, but I'm with Haley. And then it's being mean to her, and then he's nice. And I just tell you, it's gonna take Danny to finally just stop. Next, Kat sees Eva and Ted at the country club, and she tells Ted that the staff is not going to tell him that they feel that hiring Eva was a mistake. And of course, Kat would say this because we already know she don't like Eva. Not at all. So I'm wondering, is this Kat hating, or did the staff really tell her that? So Kat tells him too that why would he take a risk on Eva when she's still communicating with Leslie? And Ted tells Kat that Eva is free of Leslie, but we all know she's not. And I think Ted can trust Eva because Eva, she still has a good heart. She's not like Leslie who just has a black heart. But Eva, she wants a relationship with Ted, and she's not going to do anything to jeopardize that. So Eva tells Kat that she can't turn her back on her mom completely, but she's not going down with Leslie. And I believe that. So Kat insinuates to Eva that she had something that could have locked Leslie up. And so Eva looks at her like, and what did I have? Because she's letting her know, I know you took that evidence out of my room, Kat. And so she's looking at Kat like, are you going to be brazen enough to say you did it? Next, Martin asks Smitty, what did he find out about Detective Malone? And Smitty tells him that Detective Malone received a $500,000 payment 2 years ago. And he tells Smitty he should get rid of the story because he doesn't want him to get hurt. And Smitty asks Martin, does he know Detective Malone? And Martin tells him that he had a bad feeling about Detective Malone. And then he gets a call and says he has to go. And that always happens. As soon as Smitty starts having a conversation with Martin and it gets too hot for him, then the next thing you know, he got a call and he got to go, or he has a meeting he has to go to. So Martin tells Smitty he needs to drop the story because it's not worth their relationship. And see, saying stuff like that, he should know that's going to make Smitty want to investigate more. Next, Bill tells Danny he chooses Haley. See, this is what I'm talking about. Soon as he's nice to her, and Danny starts looking at him like, what you saying? Is there some hope? Oh, no, I'm with Haley. And so Danny looks at him like, then why are you here, Bill? And this is what Bill does. I don't understand why she keeps doing it. Why she keeps going along with it. I wouldn't even let him in the house. And I've said it before. He wants Haley as a trophy and Danny as someone he could kick it with about old times. So he tells Danny he regrets how he left her. And then he goes on to say he felt trapped, and Danny says she felt the storm was coming, but she didn't know it was Haley, and she thought he would get through his midlife crisis and that he wouldn't leave the marriage. And see, all of this going down memory lane, this is just gonna open up wounds for Danny instead of letting the wounds heal. And Danny tells him that he wrecked her and he said he should have seen her pain. And this is just nonsense to me. Why are you opening up these wounds? It's like just when the girl looked like she can finally might get a chance to get over him, here he comes again, opening the wounds back up. Next, Ted asks Kat to join him and Eva for dinner, and she tells him she has plans with her boyfriend Tomas. And then she starts taunting Eva by telling her and Ted that they have special plans for the evening. And as Eva and Ted are walking into the country club dining room, Ted sees Kenny. And Ted looks like he recognizes who Kenny is. And so he tells Eva he has to go somewhere. So that lets us know that Ted definitely knows who Kenny is. Next, Vernon, the chief, Detective Malone, and Smitty all are at Bill's office, and Vernon tells them that Kenny is making demands and knows info about that night that no one knows. And Smitty is also mentioned, and Vernon says that Smitty is family and that he and Martin will handle Smitty. And then the chief goes on to say that Jacob is family and he'll handle him as well. And it's like, will you? Because I don't think so. You can tell, I don't know, Chief. Do you really know your son? Because he should know that when Jacob gets his mind to do something, what is he going to do to stop him? And Vernon, he really don't know Smitty, because the reporter and Smitty ain't going to let him stop until he gets the answers that he wants. Next, Smitty and Jacob meet at Orphy Jean's, and Smitty tells Jacob that Martin is making like their lives are on the line if he goes through with the piece about Detective Malone. So Smitty tells Jacob he thinks Martin is afraid of Detective Malone. Next, Kat tells Tomas she wants the night to be all about them. And it's about time. This man been waiting for her to say something like this, because every time she meet up with him, she's talking about Eva and Leslie or her family, or it's everything but Tomas. So Tomas and Kat sees Eva sitting across the room, and Tomas sneaks his peek at Eva from across the room. And it's like, is that guilt or is it something else? Which I don't know what it could be, because he turned Eva down. So I'm going to say, give him the benefit of the doubt and say that it's maybe guilt, or maybe he's a little, I don't know, uneasy because he tried to come on to him. Next, Smitty tells Jacob about Martin's nightmares, and Smitty recalls the night in question when Martin came home disheveled, and he asked Martin where the car was, and Martin yelled at him and told him to stop pushing. And Smitty said that he let it go and never talked about it again. So Smitty also says that it was something about that night he didn't want to know. Well, he knew he didn't want to know about. So he says that the night in question was 2 years ago, around the time that Detective Malone received the payment. Next, Ted sees the gang in Bill's office, the Get Along gang. That's what I'm calling them. But anyway, and he asks why he wasn't called. And he tells Vernon he saw Kenny at the country club. So Vernon tells him he was hesitant before, and that's why he didn't include him. So Ted lets him know that he did what he had to do back then, but he wants to know how he can protect his son. And this unusual group of misfits is just funny to me, because I'm still trying to figure out what Joey had to do with it. I don't know. Yeah. And the chief and Detective Malone. I could kind of guess about them, but I'm really confused about Joey. But moving along. Next, Eva confronts Tomas and Kat while they're eating dinner. And Kat tells Eva they're having just us time. And Tomas asks why she treated Eva like that. And I don't know why Tomas be acting brand new. He know dang well that Eva likes him because she tried to kiss him in an earlier episode. And so, of course, Kat is going to be territorial because she knows that Eva wants him. So I don't know why he acts brand new. And he tells Kat that they were having a good time. And this is what I'm talking about. Eva knew what she was doing. She went over there on purpose. She was probably hoping that they would get to arguing and that the night would be a bust so she could come in. She's lending an ear to for him to vent to or something. Kat tells Tomas she told Eva tonight was special and she came to crash it. Exactly. And Tomas said, so you're going to stick it to your half sister? What the heck you think? This is what makes me sick about Tomas. Like, you could tell he don't know much about women. And Kat says, well, everyone stop protecting Eva. And she was about to call Eva a basic bitch. She cracks me up with that. And the basic bitch part. That is hilarious. Because it's funny to me because Eva, even though I know he got her a nice hotel room, so he couldn't get her a credit card or some kind of department store credit so she can get better clothes. I just don't understand. So Kat tells Tomas the night is ruined, and Tomas said to let's rewind and start over. And so Kat tells Tomas there's no more waiting, and she wants tonight to be the night. So we'll see. Will tonight really be the night? Next, Haley and Danny argue over Bill, and I don't know why Haley is there. You won, girl. You don't need to keep going to Danny's house to prove anything. I just don't understand it. Or maybe she keeps going around Danny to like rub it in Danny's face every chance she get that she's Mrs. Hamilton. So while they're arguing, Haley starts clutching her stomach and moaning, and Danny just stands there and says that she's having fake pregnancy pains. And I'm with Danny. I don't believe these pains are real. I think Haley came over there so that she could put on this performance because that's real. I mean, I don't believe in coincidences, but that's real coincidental that as soon as she gets over there, she would get pains at that time. That don't make sense. So I think Haley's up to something. Next, Martin tells Vernon he can't have him fight his battles, and Detective Malone says something, and Martin flashes back to the night in question where he sees Detective Malone talking. So then he starts to get light on his feet, and Ted grabs him and takes him on out the room. And then the rest of the Get Along gang start to conspire on what to do about racist ass Kenny. And that ends the episode.